Okay, so we're looking at the M3 MEI question from the textbook, and it's the very first exercise, exercise 1A, and it's question 13. Okay, and this, for my money, is beyond the scope of the syllabus, but we're going to go through it so that you can see where it's coming from. So draw a diagram, and what we have is we have the tape running over cassette, and it runs over kind of cassette heads here that are reading it, and it's got to go over at a constant speed of 5 centimeters per second, and the thickness that it's adding on is 0.001 centimeters. Okay, so in 1 second, the thickness added is how many revolutions it's been, how far it's gone around. So how many revolutions is 5 divided by 2 pi r. Now r is changing, so we'll leave that as a variable. And each time it goes around once, it adds that much to the thickness. And we are making an assumption, assuming it is added evenly, which is not actually correct, because it's actually going to be a stepped function, because each time it goes around it adds once. But if you think in 2 seconds, etc., it will work out that you've gone around a certain number of times, and it'll be fine. So what we're then going to do is we're going to say, well, that is the rate of increase of the radius. So the rate of increase of the radius is 5 over 2 pi r times 0.01, which is 0.0025 over pi r. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate the variables. So we've got pi r dr equals 0.0025 dt. We're going to integrate. So we get pi r squared over 2 equals 0.0025 t plus c. But we know a particular value. We know when t equals 0, we know that the diameter is 1.7, so the radius is 0.85 centimetres. We're told that in the question. So initially the take-up spool is empty, so it's like that. So we can sub that in, get t is 0, we get c is pi times 0.85 squared over 2. Which is 0.3625 pi. So we know that let's just take this about. Come on, move. We know that angular speed omega is v over r, and the v is constant at 5, but the r is what is changing. So the r is the formula that we've got back there. Which we haven't rearranged. Okay. Maybe I should have rewritten what R is. So over R, and so we've got. Let's just pi r squared over 2 equals 0.0025 t plus 0.36125 pi. So r squared equals 5t plus 0.7225 pi all over pi. So r is the square root of that. So omega equals equals 5 over the square root 0.005t plus 0.7225 pi over pi. Which, if we take the pi up and put the 5 inside, we get the square root of 25 pi over 0.005t plus 0.722 pi. And if I divide everything by 0.005, so I get t on its own, I get 5,000 pi on the top over t plus 0.7225 equals 144.5 pi. And there we have our answer.